In the 173-episode plot that swallowed the starry sky, Luo Feng destroyed the Blood Demon Trial and fought against the Blood Demon King. The domain master-level Luo Feng was too powerful. After Luo Feng killed millions of members of the Fire Phoenix organization in the Chui Lang Star Domain, 18 high-level Fire Phoenix leaders have been beheaded by Luo Feng. 17. Only the last realm master named Pan Shi is left. Next, Luo Feng will use the strength of the domain master level to fight Pan Shi, the third-level world master level. Luo Feng showed great strength and successfully beheaded Pan Shi. At this point, Luo Feng's first task was completed. After completing the trial of the Fire Phoenix clan, Luo Feng ushered in the judgment result of the highest points task. Although he wantonly killed more than 1 million people in the mission, and even used close combat to show the desire for killing in his bones, he was evaluated as a murderous nature, but because he always maintained extreme calmness in the killing, accurately judged the people who should and should not be killed, and was not affected by the bloodshed, the final mission completion still reached 82%, earning 82,000 points and successfully qualified to participate in the second ring mission. Luo Feng accepted the result calmly. He insisted on his own way of doing things and did not want to change to cater to others. Immediately afterwards, the second ring task email followed. This mission revolves around the Blood Demon King, a king-level immortal god in the territory of the Galen universe. Although the Blood Demon King is a lone ranger, he is an important member of the mysterious organization Hongmeng. Because of this, the Dutoa star domain under his control was able to be independent of the Galen universe, like a country in a country. Luo Feng was deeply curious about the existence of Hongmeng. He recalled his previous experience in Mayin Mountain and found that even the inheritance quota of the precious Mayin god was determined by Hongmeng, which was enough to prove its extraordinary influence. However, when he tried to search for Hongmeng's information through the virtual universe network, he found nothing. It can be seen that Hongmeng's information authority settings are extremely high. Regarding the Blood Demon King, only his real name is Du Tuo, and he is powerful, with 363 immortal gods following him. The core of this mission is to prevent the cruel blood demon trials in the Du Tuo star domain. 1 month later, the Mingya Galaxy and the Viri Galaxy will hold blood demon trials at different levels at the same time. The high-end trial allowed 1 million star-level humans to kill each other, leaving only 10 people in the end. The low-end trial was 10 billion planetary-level humans fighting and eventually surviving 100 people. The ultra-high mortality rate plunged the entire star domain into fear, and the Du Tuo star domain, under the rule of the Blood Demon King, was like a cage. Although there is charity for the planet of life, the existence of blood demon trials is really cruel. Luo Feng's mission requirements this time. Luo Feng can only choose one of the galaxy to rescue, and the virtual universe network transmission must be turned on when performing the mission. The final mission completion level needs to reach 80% before the third ring mission can be started, otherwise the mission will end. Facing this difficult choice, how will Luo Feng, who holds the fate of hundreds of millions of lives, make a decision? Luo Feng ushered in a choice that was enough to torture his soul. He must abandon one side of the blood demon trial of 1 million stellar-level humans in the Mingya Galaxy and 10 billion planetary-level humans in the Viri Galaxy. The cruelty of this choice is that both the strong and ordinary people are involved in the vortex of death created by the Blood Demon King. Babada's analysis points out the core of the contradiction. Choosing the star level is to recognize the cosmic law of the survival of the strong. Choosing the planetary level is to adhere to the equality of life. Luo Feng's answer did not hesitate at all, choosing the Viri Galaxy with 10 billion people. Behind this decision is his memory of the Earth's native land and his unique belief in every life. In order to arrive before the Blood Demon trial, Luo Feng, with the assistance of Dylan's kingdom of God teleportation, crossed the distant distance between the universe of Ganwu and the universe of Galan and approached the Viri Galaxy with a 26-day extreme journey. The time difference between traveling to the two galaxies is precisely controlled, and he knows that the layout of the top forces has always been centered on the interests of the ethnic group. Just as in the Earth transaction incident, the company handles the ownership of the Earth on the principle of balance. Dylan's question revealed the general confusion of the cosmic powerhouses. Why abandon the more potential stellar group? Luo Feng's answer carried the unique temperature of the Earth's civilization. My hometown has experienced catastrophe, and I have seen ordinary people's tears heavier than the stars. The heartbeat of an ordinary person has the same weight as the breath of 1 million strong people. This kind of anti-cosmic common sense value stems from his original heart that has not been completely domesticated by the laws of the interstellar jungle. When the Blood Demon King regarded life as a quantifiable resource, Luo Feng saw the story behind each soul. For example, the pair of brothers and sisters who were dependent on each other in the cage. They had difficulty becoming planetary level by virtue of basic secret methods, but they were caught in the Blood Demon trial because they had no background. The dialogue in the cage is full of despair. The probability of 100 people surviving among 10 billion people means that the broken knife in our hands cannot even resist the tide of people. But the young man still vowed to protect his sister. This almost paranoid obsession flickered with a glimmer of humanity in the cold universe. When 10,000 spaceships unloaded 10 billion people on a mineral planet at -80 degrees, this human purgatory officially kicked off, and the blood-colored triangle spacecraft hidden in the sky, like the pupils of death, coldly watched the fight that was about to erupt. Luo Feng's meteorite Astra spacecraft was suspended not far away, and his mind power had already covered the entire planet, waiting to be rescued at the last moment. Over the dead mineral planet of the Viri galaxy, Luo Feng and Dylan looked down at the crowd that was constantly gathering on the ground. With the arrival of more than 5,700 transport spacecraft, 7 billion planetary humans were thrown into this death cage. The depressing atmosphere pierced Luo Feng's nerves through the screen. He couldn't understand why the virtual universe company turned a blind eye to the atrocities of the Blood Devil. Dylan's explanation uncovered the cruel side of the laws of the universe. The so-called bottom line of restriction is nothing more than a fig leaf for the privileges of the powerful. The king-level immortality is like a blood demon king, and the number of lives that can be slaughtered every year is actually calculated in units of the galaxy. The trial of 10 billion people is nothing more than a routine operation that has not touched the bottom line in the eyes of the management. What is even more chilling is the ruling logic of the Blood Demon King. Through the Blood Demon trial, the elite is screened, and its soul is controlled by secret methods. And the entire Du-Tuo star domain is turned into a living factory that continuously produces blood demon warriors. From the ninth-order rabbit of the realm lord to the ordinary planetary level, the pyramid structure of layer-by-layer control makes resistance impossible. When Rabbit was frantically waiting for the killing to begin in the deep purple spaceship, the 10 billion people on the ground had fallen into a collective collapse. Some people cried for their mothers. Some people clenched their weapons and trembled. The brothers and sisters clenched each other tightly, trying to seize the last chance of life in despair. The countdown approached in fear, and when the last 8 spaceships unloaded 8 million lives, Rabbit's icy proclamation was like the horn of death. However, at the moment when the killing was about to erupt, 2 figures tore through the void. Luo Feng's golden sword shone in the center of his eyebrows. His black robe surged, and they swooped to the surface of the planet at a speed beyond the speed of light. Luo Feng mobilized the power of the World Ring, and in an instant, 10 billion people, together with their fear, despair, and struggle, were included in the World Ring. The crowd that was still fighting each other in the last second, the next second was already in the strange grassland. Their eyes were full of blankness for the rest of their lives. This rescue across the interstellar space is perfect under the synchronous recording of the virtual universe network. The moment Luo Feng closed the teleportation, he ushered in a counterattack by the forces of the Blood Demon King. Dare to destroy the Blood Demon Trial and seek death. An angry roar tore through the space, and a knife light wrapped in murderous intent cut through the void and pointed directly at Luo Feng's back. Rabbit, the Ninth Order Lord of the Realm, wielded an arc-shaped mind weapon, and the blade tore through the space to form several kilometers of cracks. And the light of the sword roared with the breath of destruction. At a critical moment, the magic cloud vine behind Luo Feng suddenly stretched out, and dozens of vines instantly swelled to thousands of kilometers long, entangling the mind weapon like a giant python. Although the blade kept chopping the vines, it could not withstand the recovery speed of the magic cloud vine almost against the sky, and was eventually imprisoned in the air. Rabbit's roar was accompanied by 8 streamers approaching, and a sense of oppression of the 9 powerful Ninth Order Masters swept the audience. As an immortal god who is proficient in the laws of the soul, Dylan has long had insight into the details of Rabbit. The 8 guards under his command are all blood demon warriors and are puppets controlled by the secret soul method. Facing Rabbit's clamor, Dylan smiled indifferently, and the immortal golden light that broke out all over his body enveloped the 9 great masters like a yoke. Under the absolute strength gap, Rabbit and the others struggled like trapped beasts, but in vain, watching Dylan explode his 8 blood demon warriors with his mind power, leaving him alone roaring in the void. This brief confrontation revealed the cruel truth of cosmic power. The Blood Demon King used the background of the Hongmeng League to run amok in the Du Tuo star domain. His subordinates screened the elites through the Blood Demon Trial and used the Soul Secret method to build a ruling pyramid model to make the star domain a giant living cage. The intervention of the Virtual Universe Company shows the absolute control of the rules by the top forces. Dylan's punishment of Rabbit has so far not only maintained the company's authority, but also avoided head-on conflicts with the Blood Demon King, showing the wisdom of the game. 3 days later, Luo Feng and Dylan arrived at the nameless mineral planet to rendezvous with the Virtual Universe Company's responders. When 10 billion planetary-level humans were released from the World Ring, the surface of the planet was instantly covered by crowds of people. The old man with white eyebrows condensed his divine power with a cyan wind and announced to everyone the news of his escape from a sea of suffering. In the crowd, the brothers and sisters who had been dependent on each other in the cage recognized Luo Feng at a glance. At this moment, the black-clothed demon god in their eyes was no longer a deterrent, but a redeemer who brought hope. The emails that completed the task brought a high score of 90%, and the middle and high-level executives expressed surprise at Luo Feng's choice. When the third ring mission email was clicked, Luo Feng's shock was frozen on the screen. The mission asked him to judge his subordinates in front of the Blood Demon King. The Virtual Universe Company issued a strong order. Although there are hundreds of immortal gods under the command of the Blood Demon King, 21 of them have committed serious crimes, including 2 immortal gods and 19 world masters, slaughtering the lives of galaxy planets, plundering the population, and gathering tens of billions of girls for crazy blood demon rituals. All kinds of evil deeds are heinous. The Virtual Universe Company ordered the Blood Demon King to capture these 21 people and imprison them on the Blood Demon Star, but the task of judging these villains fell to Luo Feng. The Blood Demon Star is the lair of the Blood Demon King, and it is the core of the entire Du Tuo star domain, where the elites of the Blood Demon trials of tens of thousands of galaxy gather. Luo Feng knew that the men who went to the Blood Demon Star to judge the Blood Demon King were undoubtedly making ground on Tai Sui's head. If the penalty was heavy, they would be hated by the Blood Demon King. If the penalty was light, they would violate their own hearts. The Virtual Universe Company asked him to turn on the network synchronization transmission when he arrived at the Blood Demon Star until the end of the trial, which put his every move under the eyes of everyone. The Blood Demon King was furious in the face of the Virtual Universe Company's order. He roared that this was a naked humiliation. Not only did he force him to personally arrest his subordinates, but he also sent someone to destroy the blood demon trial in his galaxy. But in the face of the behemoth of the virtual universe company, he could only dare to be angry. The immortal gods, under his subordinates, offered strategies, thinking that Luo Feng was just a small domain lord, and he did not dare to give a heavy sentence under the majesty of the Blood Demon King. Only then did the Blood Demon King feel a little relieved, determined to save the lives of his subordinates and maintain internal cohesion. 6 days later, Luo Feng arrived at Blood Demon Star by spaceship. Looking from a distance, the Blood Demon Star's whole body is blood red, which is palpitating. The spacecraft landed in the square in front of the Blood Demon Palace, and thousands of world masters and hundreds of immortal gods lined up neatly. The Blood Demon King, headed by him, was dressed in scarlet battle armor. Although he converged his breath, he could not hide his domineering blood. The old man with white eyebrows and wings introduced Luo Feng to the Blood Demon King. The Blood Demon King seemed to be forthright. When he mentioned Luo Feng's destruction of the Blood Demon trial, he generously expressed his indifference. But Luo Feng knew in his heart that the Blood Demon King must have dissatisfaction in his heart. The eyes of the Blood Demon King and many powerful people were focused on him. An undercurrent of judgment was about to kick off.